Hi, I'm Doug.
And I'm Cathy.
And this is Maggie Mae. Join us as we follow the moon. Today, we are exploring Blue Spring State Park in Orange City, Florida. We're actually seated right in front of the Thursby House, and we'll take you a little tour of that. But this place is known for their manatees. So we're going to explore from the head of the spring all the way back through to where it goes into the river. And we're going to see if we can find some manatees.
That's right.
So come along with us.
Thanks.
Now this is as you enter the park, and we did have quite a line, but it kept moving.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
It's a very popular destination.
And it did build over the day, so come early.
Yes. And you've got a nice scenic drive going back into the park. It sits back, I would guess, maybe a mile or less.
It seemed like it, yeah.
Once you get parked, it's all easy walking from there. Everything is either paved or boardwalk and real easy to get around. The entire park is definitely handicapped accessible. Great picnic areas throughout the park, and there are also 3 shelter houses on the grounds that are first come first served. So if you want to get there early and reserve one of those for a gathering, they're there to be had. Now the Thursby House, where we started off our video, Louis Thursby was a gold rush prospector who turned into an orange grower, and he bought Blue Spring in 1856 and built this house atop this Indian mound. And before the railroads came through in the 1880s, this Blue Spring Landing was a hotbed of steamboat activity. The house is open for self-guided tours on just the lower level, and they do have some interesting historical information in there. The only room that is completely furnished as it would have been in the period is the little butler's pantry and the kitchen.
Hey, you gotta eat.
That's right. And there it is. Right outside of the Thursby House, there's a great playground, activity center, more picnic tables, and there are a couple of restrooms also. Now this building has their gift shop, which basically has anything manatee in it. And it also has their cantina, and the cantina has a pretty sizable menu as well as snacks and drinks that you can pick up. The back of that building is where the tubes are available for rent, and you can tube except for the time of the year when the manatees are in the park. So normally mid-November up and through the end of March is the time that there is no tubing in this area.
Yeah.
The spring itself is a haven for manatees. It stays 72 degrees year-round, and they like the warmer weather. There's one down there swimming around. They had just released 12 from rehabilitation into the park, and they're all pulling these buoys behind them. And the buoys are tied around the narrow part of their tail. And it's a satellite tracker, so they can keep track of where the manatees are after they've first been released. This was the only one back at the actual spring, but this will show you what the trackers look like.
And they eventually take those off.
Mm-hmm. The time of day that we got there, yeah, they're there for a year, you're right. The time of day that we got there, most of the manatees were down by the river feeding. They also post how many manatees are there each day. There are up to 700 during the peak season. The day we were there were 63, which is not too shabby.
Yeah. And this place is beautiful.
It is. And you know, you come to see the manatees, but there are so many other bonuses as you go along the way.
Absolutely.
The boardwalk that runs from the spring down to the river is 4/10 of a mile. Again, very easy walk. And there's one of the little bonuses crawling around out there. It's a little armadillo.
He was hunting.
Yeah, he was hungry hunting.
Yeah.
Now, Cathy had her long lens with her, so she got some real nice close-up pictures we'll share with you here of him.
He's so cute. Or she.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Had his head down, burying in there to get the insects out of the ground that they live on. Didn't seem to be too bothered by everybody staring at him. He just went about his business.
Yeah.
And this is the scenery that you have walking along the boardwalk from where the spring flows on out. And there's great little areas that you can go off of the boardwalk onto viewing areas as you go along too.
Yeah.
And even if you're in an area where you're not seeing manatees, you're bound to find something there that you'll want to look at.
That's right.
The water is crystal clear, and you can see some large fish down in there. I think they said gar are pretty common in there.
Yeah. I just love the color of that water.
Yeah, there's times it looks very green. There's times that it looks blue, you know, where the name came from.
That's right.
There's times where it's deeper, it's darker. This is one of the swimming areas that is closed while the manatees are there, but you can see the steps going down into the water. And out there's a palm tree kind of laying across the water. We thought we could see something in. So the lens comes to the rescue.
That's right.
You've got turtles out there sunning themselves. I love the turtles.
I do too.
Yeah, I imagine that spring would be wonderful to tube in.
Oh yeah. And maybe even kayak. It was busy that day.
Very. Yeah, we were there on a Sunday. And as you look across the spring, you'll see there's trees over along the edge. And that tree going into the water looked just a little bit funny to us.
Yeah.
We kept trying to get a better view. And Cathy got these incredible shots. He was enormous. Very well fed looking.
He almost looked as big as the one that was in that other video.
Yeah,
Apopka.
the Apopka Wildlife Drive. So if you are tubing, just keep an eye open.
That's
for him.
right. Or he may be keeping an eye out for you.
That's true. I like him up where you can see him.
Yeah.
Then there's the water birds as you get closer to the river. And there's one out there in the water that was actively hunting.
They go under and disappear for a bit, and then they pop back up.
And you can see again on some of those logs across the river that the birds are up there sunning themselves.
It looks like they're singing.
Every now and then you'd see them with their wings all outstretched, drying their wings.
That guy's fishing.
But yeah, the whole thing is that beautiful color and crystal clear. And the closer you get down here to the end of the river, this is where the manatees were feeding. And they were over in the shallow part, kind of across from where the boardwalk is, the
Yeah.
lighter green area over there. And you'll start to see some dark spots in that light green. And that's actually the manatees just below the surface. As we walked down there, there was a turtle along the boardwalk who had gotten himself in a corner, but I think managed to figure out a way to get out.
Yeah.
But you can see the orange buoys over there where the spring feeds into this river. And it's all cordoned off that way so nobody can get in there to disturb the manatees. But those dark spots in that light green area over there, if you take a closer look at them, you'll see all the manatees. I was going to say just below the surface, but some of them are sticking their heads up to get the air.
Every now and then.
There's another one with the buoy attached.
There's a nose.
Now they do have boat cruises, they do have kayaks that you can rent there. That's all the closer you can get in though to the spring run.
And look at that sky. It was a perfect day.
It was. Now we want to end our time here at Blue Spring with you and take a quick drive through their campground. And they have 51 campsites in this state park. It can accommodate RVs up to 40 foot long, and the sites are equipped with water, electric, picnic table, and grill. There is a dump station, and there are 2 bathhouses, and they are handicapped accessible. In fact, the one bathhouse, the 2 sites right across from it were huge big concrete pads. They were their handicapped sites there.
That'd be a fun place to stay.
It would be.
And there's trails all throughout there too.
The sites are all secluded, so you're very private back there. Some of the brush might be a little bit tight for turning a bigger rig into the site, but once you're into it, most of the sites were generous in size.
Yes.
So Kathy, what did you think of our day at Blue Spring State Park here in Florida?
It's really nice. The weather's been perfect, and there's so much to see.
It is, and you come here for the manatees, but there's so many other things. We got to see the turtles and the armadillos and the birds and the Thursby House and
A big gator.
a huge gator. So got a little more than we bargained for.
That's right.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed our video today. If you have, leave us a thumbs up. We certainly appreciate it. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please subscribe and ring the notification bell, and that way you'll know when all of our new videos come out.
And thank you for following us as we follow the moon.
Thanks for watching today.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel.
And be sure to ring the notification bell so you'll know when new videos come out.
Don't forget to follow us on social media too.